Hi, White Plains friends. It's Pastor Kelly Lynn. We are headed toward Sunday, April the 19th, celebrating this third Sunday after Easter, and one of my favorite stories in all of the Gospels, from the Gospel according to Luke chapter 24, the so-called walk to Emmaus. It so happens that we're going to be studying that passage at the same time some of our congregation members will be serving on the Emmaus Walk. Women's Emmaus Walk, I believe, is this weekend. And so pretty cool that that's lining up for us as a community. So one of the things I'm thinking about as I come to this very familiar passage again, but it's been, I guess, probably 3 years since I've had the opportunity to study and preach on it, is what do we learn in this passage about what the resurrection means for our lives today? Like, how does resurrection show up in regular life today? And one of the things, there's several things there, I think. And one of the ways I think we can answer that in the modern world is that resurrection shows up in our lives when we have a relationship, an active relationship with the resurrected Jesus. And the story of Cleopas and his companion that meet Jesus on the road, but they don't recognize him, don't know it's him, tell us that sometimes we don't always recognize that Jesus is with us. And sometimes it takes a long walk with a friend. Sometimes it takes having difficult conversations like Cleopas and his companion had with Jesus, where they debated the scripture and asked questions and shared their sorrow, all the feelings they were having over Jesus' death, and now what they're hearing about his resurrection and what they don't understand and what they do. They share that they had so many hopes for what Jesus was going to do, and now they feel like those hopes are dashed, even as Jesus is right next to them and they don't recognize him. I think having a relationship with the resurrected Jesus today also means inviting a stranger into your home and sharing an intimate meal together, because ultimately that's when they recognize that it's Jesus. They've been with him all day long, and it's getting dark, and they ask him to come stay with them. And somehow, as they sit at table and recline together, and Jesus breaks bread and blesses it and gives it to them, they realize Jesus has been with them all along. We'll talk more about that on Sunday and hope you'll join us.